Whenever you're ready.
Oh, we're ready to start. Okay, I'm Jason Chumbley, and I've been blowing these calls, some of them for a long time, some of them for not so long time, but I'll give it a whirl and see what we come up with. I think I have 9 calls here, and out of the 9, 7 of them are blown by your mouth, and then 2 of them are mechanical. Now, I guess I'll start with the loudest calls first, and then we'll work our way down to the ones that are not quite so loud. The first call will be the duck call. It's a mallard. I've got 2 different kind here. This is Phil Robertson duck call. I don't know if y'all know him, but he's a pretty well-known duck hunter. Used to play quarterback at Tech, and he's going to make $1 million off this duck call right here. And this is a mallard tone, but I'll just blow Phil's and see what comes out. There's 3 calls that you make with a duck call. You have your hail call, your comeback call, and your feed call. We'll start off with the hail call. Now that's when the ducks are, say, from 300 to 500 yards off. If a duck is further than 500 yards away, there's no need in blowing at him. Now when they come in close and they get within 150 yards, you start using your feed call on them and try to entice them down into the decoys. And here's what the feed call sounds like. And if that doesn't work and the ducks make a pass over your decoys and start to go back, you got what you call a short comeback call. And then you just hope that they'll come back. Okay, that's one call there I wish I could really master because I love the duck hunt. Okay, next let's stay with a waterfowl. We'll go to a goose call. I'll give it a whirl. I'm not real good on this, but I do know what they sound like. And some of our cooney friends can do this a whole lot better than us hillbillies up here. Okay. Now we'll stay with the louder calls. The next call is a black crow. And a lot of people use a mechanical electrical call and call these crows in, but manual call like this will work. And tell that's pretty loud. Okay, next, while we're on the loud bird calls, we'll go with the red-tailed hawk. And I know this will work calling some hawks in because I had a good friend that was real good on this call, and he could call them in, and we killed several that way. Now, we'll get down to the quieter bird calls now, and I'll do this. This was the first call I ever started blowing. I started when I was 7 years old blowing this one. Supposedly I'm supposed to be pretty good at it. Some quail think I might call them up pretty close. This particular call I'm not real fond of. I just had to go by my uncle's house and borrow it real quick tonight. But another thing about a quail call like this, back when I was a kid in Doylean, several old timers made them out of Garrett snuff boxes. You know, the little tin box. They work pretty good too. First I'll do the Bob White, the male of the species. That's fair, but I just don't like this. It's not my top-notch call. Now here's a female. I can do pretty good with her. And you blow that about 3 to 4 times, and the Bob White answers you. You hesitate for about 15 or 20 seconds and give him 3 or 4 more, never blow over 4 or 5 times. If you blow much more than that, he's spooky. But once you get him to answer you, a lot of times you have to call maybe 3 to 5 times at him, different times, and you'll have him right on top of you if he's in a romantic mood, you know. Okay, now, the last call that I'll do with my mouth is called a fox, a coyote call, but actually what it's supposed to imitate is a hurt rabbit or a dying rabbit, and of course, you know, that's what they eat, so they'll come to a dying rabbit. And supposedly that'll call a coyote and fox up. I never have got into that calling before, but I've heard it on TV, and that's close to what it sounds like. Now, my last 2 calls that I do, I have a cousin that turkey hunts a lot, and I'm not very good at all this, but this is a cedar box call. Now, all the real hotshot turkey hunters now use mouth diaphragm. They stick that turkey call in their mouth, and they can sit there motionless and just move their mouth and sound just exactly like a big tom turkey, or a hen turkey is what you want to sound like. But here's basically what a turkey sounds like. And you can take this call, and sometimes it sounds pretty good, sometimes it doesn't, but it'll sound like a gobble. You gotta shake it. And you really got to be sharp to fool old Mr. Wild Turkey. He's probably the most elusive of all the North American game animals we have. And for my last call here is a call that I never have understood why they make this call to sound like a squirrel. It's not a call. Anytime a squirrel's barking at you, he's already seen you, and he's telling everybody else in the woods that he's seen you. And if you go squirrel hunting, surely you wouldn't want to blow or to work his squirrel call, because it doesn't usually work. But you just tap your hand against it, and it kind of imitates the sound of a squirrel barking. Let's see if I can do it. And that's about all I have tonight. And if you have any questions, just ask me, and I'll tell you what I know about them. I've been hunting all this stuff a long time.
Okay. Now, do you need to repeat?
Some of those are not too good. Now, I've got a cousin that really and truly, you ought to hear him with that turkey.
What's that round ball?
I forgot this one.
Go ahead and do that.
This is, I'm going to let y'all guess at this one. I don't know if the camera's on or not, but
Is it good?
But maybe that I'll do this one. I can't believe I forgot this. This one sounds authentic too. And I'll let y'all guess it there. Have any idea?
Hoot owl.
No.
What?
That's a dove cooing.
Yeah.
That's a dove call. They'll sit up in pine trees. They love to do that in the evening and early in the morning. Well, that's all of them now for sure. They don't do that anymore. But of course, it doesn't hurt the population if Bob White's killed Bob White. They just don't kill a hen. What I used to call it. When I was a kid, I could really call it Bob White.
I used to do that, just whistle.
Yeah. A lot of people, one of the best I've heard with his mouse, Foster Campbell.